What's going on, you guys? Happy Monday. Happy Moonday. Oh, okay. Apologies for the rough start, you guys. What's up? Happy Moonday. This week I'm back for another video. We've got a full moon in Leo coming up, actually, pretty quickly here. So definitely going to talk about that. Going to talk about a couple of the aspects going on this week, as usual. But tonight I have a guest joining me. Everybody, welcome back, Rachel. Rachel's in the house.
Hello.
Word, yeah, bringing back some OG energy. So yeah, running this from my phone this week. Apologize for the finger. I'm gonna try to not like have that in your guys' face, but this is the technology I'm working with. So man, okay, so Rachel, you went and got married since you were here last.
I sure did. I sure did.
What was the day that you guys got married?
It was November 8th at roughly 1:30 a.m. during the full moon eclipse.
That's insane, and I love it.
It was insane.
Like, fuck this energy, we're bringing in our own. That's amazing.
Yeah, that pretty much was it.
That that cracks me up. I think that's so funny. Oh man. Well, I kind of wanted to lead in to talking about this mood with that, because I heard something just recently, and I'm trying to test it out and try to just like gather enough data to see if it's actually true or not. But I heard that the lunations that occur exactly halfway in between eclipse cycles. So, in this year's case, the Leo and Aquarius axis, when there's full and new moon on that axis, halfway between the eclipse cycles, it's considered like similar in energy to an eclipse. It's almost like the halfway checkpoint in between the eclipse windows. You know what I mean? So I'm curious about that, and if anybody's ever noticed that like in between eclipse windows there's this marker where things get really intense, or like I don't know, I'm kind of considering it to be like the first quarter or third quarter phases of the moon cycle, right? Where it's like it's not a full lunation, it's not like the full thing, but you still have major changes going down, right? Because it's that 90-degree square. So I don't know.
No, I love that thought.
Right? I don't know.
I'd have to look back at notes, honestly.
Right?
I need to get better back into journaling because that's how you can track these things is journal. Um,
Yeah.
but but it makes sense. I feel like after an eclipse happens, whatever it is you do, even if you're just chilling on the eclipse, there
Yeah.
is a point in between where that energy is still lingering. Something about that is still, I feel like you're right. It is kind of like those quarter points where it's like, are you building
Right.
this? Because it's going to manifest,
Right?
or
Yeah.
it's
I
like,
mean,
what did you just do?
yeah, it's almost
Responsibility.
like I don't know, I'm kind of like I'm picturing in my mind like how a reverberation happens where you like
Mm,
any kind of energy wave, right? There's like ripples that continue out. I don't know. I don't know how it sits with me. I'm still kind of like processing it. But I mean, from a few different standpoints, it does make sense. From like the evolutionary astrology standpoint, anything that's making an aspect to the nodes is fated and karmic. So when you have
mm,
lunations square to the nodes, it's considered to be, they call it a skipped step, and it's
hmm.
like whatever that thing is, that planet, that energy, that archetype, it's like it wasn't developed enough, and now it's like almost forcing itself to be developed now. Or like not forcing, you always have a choice,
Yeah.
but um So lunation square to the nodes would have the same kind of effect. It's like it's very fated and karmic. So that, but that's just like that's a super modern way to look at it. But yeah, anyway, so
Hmm.
it's gonna be an interesting full moon.
Fun.
Um, and yeah, it's not exactly square the nodes, but it is exactly square Uranus. And Uranus is still pretty much in the same place that it was during the last eclipse when you got married. So
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
I would be very interested if you guys notice anything come up, right? That like
Oh,
is very tied to the themes of
mm,
Taurus, Leo, and Aquarius, and that like that fixed axis. Anyway, obviously you don't have to talk
yeah.
about it off screen, but just something to think
All
about and
good.
marinate on. Yeah.
Yeah, those things did actually come up today during a chat that I during recording with Rel. Just those signs, and yeah, it makes sense. It's
That's
coming.
cool.
It's building up.
I know PK just asked Rachel last minute, like, hey buddy, wanna come do cards with me? She's like, yes. Fuck yeah. But yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so gosh, where do I want to start? Um, yeah, so actually tell me a little bit about what you just did with Rel because you guys are talking
Mm.
about a book that I absolutely adore.
Yeah, we started a new project where we are reading through and discussing Women Who Run with Wolves. Um, I've read it a long time ago. This is Rel's first time reading it, and there's so
Ooh.
much that I've forgotten and so much that she's picking up on, and it's been so much fun. We're swapping channels while we record this, so it will be on both of our channels. The last one it was on Local Goddess on Odyssey. We kicked off with the intro, and today we're recording the episode that will be aired on her channel as well. It'll be on both, but on her end, so you can look up Real Truth Seeker on YouTube, and we'll go through chapter 1. So it's been really fun. We are absolutely reading the stories, of which there are quite a few in this book, but the
Mhm.
analysis of this author is incredible, and it is really hard not to just read you the whole book. It's huge, so that would take days, hours, weeks, God knows. But we'll do our best to summarize and kind of share what we're learning through it too, because it's so powerful. It just gets you right in the core,
Yep.
and you know the knowing that the author talks about. Everyone has a deep knowing. You will start to
Mhm.
know that you know, and it's wonderful. It's such a reviving type of read, and yeah, it's been really fun.
I really love that book. I believe the author's name is Clarissa Pinkola Estes.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
yes, memory, brain horns. Uh, I had a really cool. This is totally not related to tarot, but it is related to the astrology. I had a really cool experience with that book in particular. And yes, it's about women and the wild feminine, but I like in the text that you put out today about it, I really feel that everybody, no matter male or feminine, male or female, could actually get a lot from that book. But it was really cool how it came into my awareness. That particular, it is a must read, definitely. That particular book, how it came into my awareness, I was doing this really random job, going like door to door for stuff, and we have these like mini library boxes set up in random places where it's like take one, leave one kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And I was not in my city. I was in an entirely different town in the mountains actually, and just happened to walk past one and stopped and was looking. I'm like, oh, this looks cool. And it just happened to be that the very first story I needed to read that story, and I read that story, and it was like huge impact. And then I lost the book. I lost it. Don't know where it went. Don't know. Have no idea. But then I found it again. I went to a used bookstore and I was like, I need to keep reading this. Picked it up, and it just so happened to be that in between, oh, that sucks, PK. Anyway, in between reading that first story and the next one, I needed to experience some stuff first. And then I read the
Mm.
second story and it reflected what I had just experienced. It was like, what?
It's like that. It's like that. When I picked up my
So
copy,
good.
the lady was like, try bibliomancing it. I was like, okay. Because I was looking at it, was like, this is huge. Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. Like, when you start to understand what you are as a woman, he's going to like it or he's not.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, and this thing, it's thick. And so I was like,
it
okay,
is.
I'll try it. And I did.
Yeah.
It was like that. I got right into the story I needed to get into. And
Mhm.
I read a good chunk of it like that, but then I was like, okay, now I can read it forwards and backwards. And
Right? Yeah. Now I
it's
kind of want to
like
go
that.
back and I kind of want to like go back and reread it with you guys because fuck, it's a good book. But anyway, I think that's actually a perfect lead in because this full moon will be really close to the point Lilith.
Mm,
Lilith in astrology. So, first of all, what it is wherever Lilith is, it's actually measuring where the moon is furthest from the earth. So, when you have a lunation and the moon is close, or sorry, it's opposite Lilith, my bad, it's opposite Lilith. But anyway, wherever you have, no, Lilith is in Leo, my bad. Moon will be by Lilith. Wherever you have Lilith, it's actually where the moon is furthest away. So it literally appears smaller in the sky, and it appears like it's less bright because it's smaller, whatever. But on like an esoteric astrological side of things, Lilith represents the wild, um, untamable energy, right? It's distinctly feminine because it's dark and chaotic and all of that stuff, but it's often represents a point in our charts where we feel a lot of shame because of our true natures in that particular area of life. And we kind of have to like befriend that point and befriend that side of us. And Lilith is very much like this. So it's cool. It's really cool that you guys are reading this and that just ties into part of the astrology. So anyway, yeah, exactly. It's so thick because it's so deep.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's dense. I think
yeah.
that's
It's
perfect.
yes, PK, perigee, and apogee. So Lilith is the apogee. Um, sorry, perigee. Oh my God, perigee meaning far from Earth. Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what Lilith is, where the moon is far away. Um, perigee, apogee, apogee, far from Earth, apogee, far from Earth. Perigee's close. Sorry, my my bad, guys. I wasn't planning to talk about Lilith, and here we are.
Who does? No, I'm just
Yeah. So anyway, now apogee. Thank you. My God, fuck. That's embarrassing. I do know. I'm just brain dead right now. Um, what else do I want to say about that? Yeah, so oh God, yeah, I don't want to go into the mythology of Lilith or anything like that. The main kind of point that I just want to bring forward about that energy really is it's wild, it's untamable, it cannot be put into a box and defined um, very easily. And if you have it on a sensitive point in your chart, say on the ascendant, on the MC, IC, DC, or there's a luminary conjunct it, and I don't mean like trine, sextile, I mean right on top of that. Um, Depending on what one it is, there's often huge amounts of like sexual energy and just like pa- raw power that that person has. Um, and they tend to deal with either power and control issues and struggles, um, basically just because they don't want to be tamed. They can't be tamed, they can't be controlled, and highly resent it when people try to do that. Um, that's been my experience anyway. I have that point on my ascendant, so thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Anyway,
perfect.
yeah. Okay, so anyway, let's keep talking about this full moon. Okay, so Sun is in Aquarius, tropical Aquarius, right? Moon will be in Leo, obviously. So this is happening at 16 degrees. 16 degrees, 40 minutes. So it's right in the middle decans. So right right in the middle of the fixed signs is where this is popping off. It is literally the most fixed of the most fixed, right? As soon as the sun moved into this middle decan of Aquarius, we got this huge cold snap and it started snowing again. It was very much like, okay, it is definitely winter. Also, hello everybody coming in. But anyway, a couple things I want to mention specifically about this axis. I mean, with Aquarius, we're talking about, well, on one hand, it's the crowd, right? Leo is being on stage, Aquarius is the crowd. Another way to look at it is Leo is very regal and royal. It's the lion, it's the king of the jungle, right? And Aquarius is, again, it's like the opposite of that. It's some kind of collective movement or collective group or network, really. I like to picture mycelium networks. It's one of my favorites. Um, Solomon Cody. Um, some other really big things with Leo is it's like expression from the heart, it's creative energy, it's love, right? It's the power of love. Whereas Aquarius is the power of um, everybody putting their minds together, or the genius, right? If Leo is about creative, beautiful energy and like fun and joyful energy, Aquarius is more about the scientifically minded creativity, creative genius, you could say. Um, so it's an interesting axis to consider. Aquarius is often associated with like philanthropy and doing things for the common good, which I really hate, but is still an Aquarius theme regardless. And obviously that can be really good or it can be really evil. Um, so, and with Leo, same thing, right? There's two sides to it. It can be fun and playful and, you know, the center of attention, and that can easily turn into a little bit more of narcissism, right? Or pleasure seeking for the sake of pleasure. Um, so there's that. Now, these decans, okay? So I've been diving really deep into the decans and the tarot cards associated with them. Where the sun is the Six of Swords energy. So Six of Swords energy, often we see like people being ferried away and escaping something, right? Or going to calmer waters or something like that. What's up, Gabe? Um, you also see this card titled Science in some decks, where it's like you've perfected something that requires a great deal of mental effort, right? In the Five of Swords, we see some kind of defeat occur, some kind of some besting, right? Somebody's exiled, basically. Somebody has to walk away. Once they've walked away, or they've begun to walk away, it's like you formulate a plan. That's the Six of Swords energy. Opposite to this is the Six of Wands. That's the middle decan of Leo. Six of Wands is a great victory, right? So that's the energy that we're bringing in. Intense planning, perfected formulas, perfected methods, like literally genius energy, and then a huge victory. So it's really interesting. Um, and of course, this is being squared by Uranus and Taurus, also in the middle decan, of course. And the middle decan of Taurus is the Six of Pentacles. So I wrote down some stuff here. Six of Pentacles, in that card, you see somebody that's dressed really nice, right? And often they're either handing out coins or doing something like that, or there's this idea of like equalization or assistance or separate classes. Actually, is what it kind of seems to me. But anyway, Uranus itself brings about this revolutionary energy, this rebellious energy, this sudden and shocking and genius energy. So this could be a really interesting full moon. And of course, the nature of a T-square, right, where we have an opposition and one planet or point or whatever making a 90-degree angle to the other two brings a lot of tension to the surface, right? There's a lot of uh, there's a need for action, right? There's going to be action. There's going to be friction, and it'll be I don't know. I don't know what it'll be. It'll be interesting. Um, so while that's going down, okay, while we've got this full moon going down, we also have the opening square between Venus and Mars occurring. Um, Opening or closing? No, it's a closing square, my bad. Now, not all squares are created equal, and Venus is actually in the better position of these two planets. Venus is in Pisces. She's exalted. She's the guest of honor in Pisces. It's all about divine love, divine healing, the ultimate sacrifice, spirituality, right? There's lots of these themes coming up with Venus and Pisces. But it's like, seriously, it's like moments of divine grace where like there's these synchronicities that line up and it's just like, bam, things just happen. Um, that's kind of Venus and Pisces. She's in the decan that deals with the Nine of Cups, right? Just to like really help that sink in, think of what the Nine of Cups represents, right? It's like ultimate fulfillment and pleasure. Um, and she's in the superior position with Mars. So no matter what Mars is doing in Gemini, right, we've been experiencing really intense debates and all this information and stuff come out about all sorts of different topics. Um, and like uh, some really interesting stuff coming out lately. But uh, whatever Mars is doing, Venus is softening it or forcing him to soften a little bit. So it's like there's things happening and maybe even some blow-ups happening, but there's a deeper or divine purpose to it. That's what I want to say with that. Also, thank you, my friend. Really, the shout out goes to Gemini Bricks. He's a friggin' genius. Um, so that's fun. Uh, okay, so I also want one more thing I kind of want to say about the Venus Mars square in particular. Mars is now in the middle decan of Gemini, which is the Nine of Swords energy, right? So there's a lot of like insomnia and overthinking and too much information, um, like overload, mental overload, right? Circuit overload. What I feel the astrology is asking you to do is surrender a little bit, disconnect from the information overload, and tap into the Venus energy, right? So don't go too far down too many rabbit holes right now. Hold off on that a little bit. Just try to implement the things that you've learned, the things that you were planning before, and release control over what you don't have control over. That's what I would say. All right. Good to see you guys coming in. What's up? It's pronounced Gem and me. What's up, Gem? Damn.
Gemini?
Gemini?
Proper
Gemini?
English?
You know what? We're speaking a whole different language with astrology. Don't even get me started. Shit. 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 Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a little bit better. Hold on. I gotta get comfy for the card slanging. Okay. So anyway, really interesting full moon. It's happening on the 5th of February, by the way. 5th of February, according to the Gregorian calendar. Um, it'll be exact at 11:28 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. So that's 10:28 if you're on the Pacific Coast, and 1:30 p.m. if you're on the West Coast. Right, and then it'll be full for the night. But anyway, so that's that. What else do I want to say? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I kind of like just a couple more thoughts that I put down here is I'm really curious what kind of stuff's gonna show up that has to do with either an anti-hero or some kind of authority figure. or social authority and social conformity. That's dark side Aquarius, right? And somebody that stands up, or some kind of like lion themed, solar hero that stands up, that is either, I don't know, deified for a day or put into the spotlight or like almost like worshipped as a hero or something along those lines is kind of like what I'm feeling into when looking at the symbolism of this moon. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. Okay, that's enough of that. Oh man, Rachel, I'm stoked to have you here, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I missed you.
I missed you, girl. I missed you. You've been working so hard. Okay, yeah, dude. Let's get started.
Oh yeah.
Oh, gosh. All right. Start with the Pisces.
Oh yeah.
All
Pisces.
right. Yeah. Forgot. I forgot how slippery these cards are.
I was like, I keep forgetting how big these cards are.
Rachel
This deck,
does work hard.
this deck is always upright. This is one of the ones, so unless it flies out negative, you take it.
Word.
We can discuss what the downside is. Always be wise, look at both sides, but it will tell you if there's a problem.
Appreciate that. Okay, so Pisces. This full moon, right? The illumination is occurring in your 6th house. So this is a 6th, 12th house opposition, right? So we're dealing with your health. We're dealing with work, actually. We're dealing with work quite, work and service, right? So like, what are you in service to? That's what the full moon is asking you. And lucky you, Pisces, you get to host Venus. So that's exciting. Venus is exalted in your sign, and being that this is in your 1st house, I talked about this briefly last week. It's bringing blessings of some kind, right? That's really beautiful. She also brings a healing and protective energy to your 1st house, so to your body, to your life. So that's actually quite wonderful. But anyway, this full moon is really, really highlighting this axis of service, peace of mind, routine, charity, uh, what you're working towards, on like a daily basis, and losses. That's the 6th, 12th house axis. Now, there's this square happening from your 3rd house, which is a really disruptive energy, this Uranus square. But it's almost like you can use the disruptive energy to assist you with this balancing act. So I would say, especially with the square coming from your 3rd house of communication, that if you need more downtime, right, speak about it. Make sure you're talking about it. You have a ton of tools, right? A ton of tools at your disposal that you can use. That's what the 3rd house represents, tools. So don't be afraid to gather a little bit more info or use some of the like communication tools that you have, or even like literal physical tools that you have, in order to give yourself a little bit more rest if you need it, and rededicate yourself and whatever service means to you, right? And like, it doesn't have to be like servitude, right? Service and servitude are different. But anyway, that's my thoughts for Pisces. So what you got, Rachel?
Oh boy. We got the Wheel of Fortune. Oh
Oh
no.
snap!
Yeah, maybe it'll be hard with the background like that. So here's the Wheel of Fortune. It's got this nice Ouroboros going on around this sword that has thorns on it with some wings and a crystal on the top. The holographic background, if you can see it, I think it shows up pretty well, is a desert. which kind of reminds me of chapter 1 of what we were reading about, is the desert, where you can either stay or become new. The Wheel of Fortune is about that, new cycles. Everything has ended. Now it's time to turn around. I mean, it's a cycle. Wheel of Fortune, we're going this way now. And it can sometimes be a surprise, or it's something that you've worked for. You've changed this. You've caused this shift in your weird to happen. It's probably still along your weird, but it's a shift. What I like about this for Pisces is that there's a lot of feminine moons in here, this upside down crescent, this very receiving moon. So it's receiving the cycle of rebirth, because the Wheel of Fortune will always cause a rebirth. It's always disruptive. It's always fun. It can be fun, or it can suck. What I like is that these thorns are around the sword. This is not a time for you to over-intellectualize and overanalyze anything. This is about being receptive to the shifts and trust and have faith, which is what Pisces is known for, is for its faith. So to have that faith and fly free with these wings, with innocence and clarity. The top crystal, the crystals are supposed to be about wealth, and let's see here, I think they also have to do with, abundance, pieces of the self. Pieces of the self is really huge with this desert. It has to do with don't wait to look for them, type of thing. Go look for them. So in all of your endeavors, continue to look for yourself and be fearless, because whatever you're doing forward, Pisces, you're not going to be able to do it if you are focused on things of the past, if you don't allow the fortune to shift. It's just not going to happen. If you're mourning over things that were lost, go get them. Bring them into the next cycle, or change your perspective on them. So that's kind of what I'm seeing with that one. Kind of too many sinks for me to articulate, but
I love sinks. Kitchen sinks especially. No, just kidding.
Oh yeah. Bathroom sinks too.
Well, that's cool. I like that. So 2 cards came out for you, Pisces. We have the 7 of Pentacles, which is pretty interesting. Okay, 7 of Pentacles. And the 10 of Cups. So I'm sitting here smiling because as Rachel's talking, I'm looking at these cards. I'm like, yep, that pretty much sums it up. So with the 7 of Pentacles, right, there is a little bit of attention to detail that's needed, but I really feel like the 7 of Pentacles is dealing with completely unexpected circumstances that you have no control over. Like, let's say you've done, so take it in an agricultural context, right? You're growing your garden. You have created a beautiful microclimate, right? You've planted enough seeds. In fact, you planted more than enough because you knew some stuff inevitably wasn't going to make it. You've got your frost cloth, right? I live in a climate where I have to have frost cloth or shit's gonna fucking die. You've got your low tunnels. You've made all of the preparations possible, but you don't control nature. You don't control the storms. You don't control all of this other shit. So unexpected stuff is bound to come up. And even if you've done all of the planning possible, there's still going to be stuff that doesn't make it, right? But Pisces, you know this. You know this, Pisces. You also know that, there is really, every time there's an ending, there's another beginning, right? There's always something that comes up afterwards, thus the Wheel of Fortune being so perfect. I got fucking crazy chills right now. And here we are with the 10 of Cups, that promise that Rachel was just talking about of looking forward. What are you looking forward to? Well, what's your plan exactly? What are you working towards? Keep working. Keep putting in the effort, the daily effort. And remember that the 7, anytime you see a 7, there's 16 in the chat. 1 plus 6 is 7. Anytime there's a 7, there's a test, an initiation that you're going through. This is really important. The universe throws these at you to see where you're at and whether you're ready for the next level or not. Are you ready for the next level, Pisces? It's coming for you. It's coming for you.
Look out.
It's coming for you.
I do want to share that at the bottom of the deck for that was the Seven of Pentacles.
That's trippy.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I got that.
Nice.
I love that.
Very nice.
Beautiful. Okay, Aquarius. Aqua in house. Aquarius. Happy birthday, first of all. If you are a sun in Aquarius, happy birthday. Good to see you guys. Yeah, so you actually get the spotlight for this month. That's pretty cool. Hey, hold on one sec. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. So anyway, spotlight's on you, Aquarius. Now it's interesting because I wonder how I don't have a sun in Aquarius, right? So I can't really tell you what it feels like to be a sun in Aquarius. I only know it from a book. But I'd be really curious what that feels like when you're about to have your birthday as an aqua. Um, just considering that it's not the sun's favorite place to be, you know what I mean? I think that it's one of the qualities that makes aqua so weird, right? And eclectic. It's like, yeah, it's not the sun's favorite place, but that's fine because I'm over here doing my own thing anyway, and screw the mainstream shit regardless. You know? Anyway, that's just random thought. Okay, so anyway, this full moon is lighting up your first and seventh house axis. Seventh house is the house of relationships. That's where the full moon is happening. So for you, Aquarius, has a lot to do with your partnerships in general, and also how you show up in partnership. The square from Uranus is happening from your 10th house. So something disruptive in the area of your career, or even your public obligations, responsibilities, or from an authority figure, even, um, is, making you question or look at more closely some kind of partnership that you have, whether this is a business partnership, whether this is a business partnership, or whether it's just like you dealing with people on a one-on-one basis. Something's being disrupted, but also, again, like I was saying with Pisces, you're being tested, and this is an initiation. So I'm excited for that for you. It's almost like, actually, that there is. Oh, my bad. Taurus is the fourth. Oh my gosh. I was really tired when I was writing this, I'm not gonna lie. Fuck. So anyway, there's this need for freedom that you embody as an Aquarius, right? There's this need to break free and be different and go against the grain. And my question for you really is, what are you anchored in right now? So I misspoke earlier. I said Taurus is the 10th for Aqua. That's not true. Taurus is the 4th. Taurus is the anchor for Aquarius. So there's been this really unsettling energy in the area of your home that you've been, forced to work with, forced to adapt to. That's what I want to say, adapt to. And really, it's helping you shake up your foundation because it needed to be shooken up. Fixed signs are not exactly known for movement. You know what I mean? We're a little stubborn. We can be a little bit stuck in our ways. I feel like this full moon is going to really shake some things up for you in a good way. Now, Venus in Pisces is coming from your second, so it's almost like somehow your resources or even your own sense of self-worth can assist you through whatever challenges are coming up with this full moon. So yeah, it's like you will be supported as long as you put in the work. That's kind of what Venus is saying in this particular situation. So that's what we got for the astrology for Aquarius. What's up, JLo? Hi, Chris.
I had them all shuffled and ready, and now they're like, maybe a little more.
Classic.
Fine. Yeah. Energy shift.
I'm not ready for my debut.
Yeah. Come on, Aquarius. All right.
Share with the class what you know.
You can do this. You're big.
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, so speaking of spotlights, right? This Leo decan that we're dealing with, where the full moon will be, is all about the spotlight. So, I don't know. It's all about the spotlight and
Hmm.
the laurels that come with being celebrated in such a way. I don't know, maybe your partner is being celebrated and it's your job to um, support them. Anyway,
I love that.
I don't
Although
hate Taurus. I love Taurus.
I said
I am
that.
Taurus.
Why do you hate yourself, Kaylee? Stop it.
I actually love Taurus. I don't
Yeah,
hate Taurus.
it's pretty great.
I came in to shake it up. Hell yeah, you did, J-Lo. That's like you.
Well,
That's a fact.
Aquarius, what you were just saying is super perfect on the bottom of the deck for the energy was the star. So I love that. And then for the actual message is the 9 of coins. First, there's a
Sweet.
9 pointed star leading to a ring of different shaped crystals. It's got some hands on it with eyes, so you're seeing through your actions what is manifesting in the earth, in your body. Maybe get some grounding. You said it perfectly. Taurus is the anchor for Aqua. If you're going to do anything, take care of your body with this 9 of coins. Like, this is a very self-care kind of card. You're making sure that your finances, that the things around you, your environment, this whole star is all pointing inwards. It all benefits you in some way. Now, it does empower you to give to others 100%. And that's exactly what Aqua wants to do. It's got this star. It wants to shine. It wants to give that light. Man, this background is really going to make it hard. But, you know, that's essentially what I'm seeing for Aquarius. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself while you do what you're doing.
I love that. And PK, hell yeah, best for last. He's like, why do you hate Taurus? Yeah, honestly, I just decided to go backwards because I have to do things differently. I just have to. Okay, it's a Uranus thing. Um, anyway, so fuck,
You spit on my side. What?
it's my show. I do what I want. Um, Aquarius, seriously, Ace of fucking Pentacles and the Magician, bro. What, bro? What, bro? What? 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 What's it like being an evil genius? Will you tell us? I need to know some secrets. Do you just gamify and like put everything into systems and then just win all the time? Like that's Aquarius to me. I don't know what the fuck. Um, what the fuck? So, all right. First of all, they're both ones. Okay, we got an ace. We got the one. All right. Yeah, one, 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 and one. So Venus in the second house is literally bringing you gifts. I'm really curious about something you just said, Rachel. You said Aquarius wants to give away to everybody. And I'm thinking about that from the perspective of having Pisces on the second. To have this sign that's like universality and everything is one as the house of money. No wonder Aquarius is often like a philanthropist. Like, seriously, they do want to give away their resources to everybody. So it's like, what am I going to do with it? But then again, I've also met other Aquarius that are not like that at all, and it's like they'll help people, but they have very serious boundaries too. I don't know. Anyway, Ace of Pentacles. You're being given a gift right now. How you use it is up to you. I love Rachel bringing in the needing to be embodied and grounded because, yeah, exactly 100%. Being embodied and in touch with your sensual side is what anchors you. How are you going to be an evil genius and run the world if you're not anchored? Okay, Aquarius. So, um, or maybe that's the thing that makes you not an evil genius is being anchored. Anyway, and then the magician, right? As above, so below, motherfuckers. It's pretty simple. Um, would you guys calm down on the Telegram right now? Jesus Christ. Fucking relax. I'm trying to read cards here.
Aquarius says, "Don't tell me what to do."
You know, my mom. Oh my god. With the magician here, oh man, Giggle Tarot is back. Yes. Okay. With the magician here, all right. As you are receiving some kind of gift, okay, what are you going to do with it? How are you going to use it in order to maximize its benefits? Are you going to reinvest it? Are you going to bury it? Are you going to invest in somebody else? Are you going to invest in your home? What are you going to do with it? And keep in mind that that's just one of the 4 elements that you're supposed to be working with, right? Um, I also love to see the magician as developing skills, um, developing some kind of communication ability or some kind of use of a tool or something like that. Mercury is about measuring and dividing and identifying and labeling things, but it's also like Mercury rules both Gemini and Virgo, right? It has a purely mental side and an embodied side. And I really feel like this is like, yes, Aquarius, you're a fucking genius, but are you in your body? Because both matter. Both up here and down here matter equally so. And if one is out of balance, the both, you know, you have to be balanced. Anyway, that's Aquarius. I'm glad we're nailing it, Ronan, because I feel fucking all over the place. Capricorn.
Capricorn will help us out.
Okay. Capricorn. So this full moon is lighting up your 7th, 2nd, and 8th houses. So the moon in Leo will be in your 8th house, right? Aquarius is your 2nd house. So this is an axis that deals with your resources and it also deals with sensuality and sex, straight up. The square from Uranus is coming from the 5th house, the house of romance and creativity and children and sex. This is a very sexy full moon for you, Capricorn kids. That's one way to put it. So what's manifesting with this full moon is some kind of shared project. Something is going down where you need to either pool resources or really like get into the bonded intimacy with somebody where, you know, maybe you're budgeting together or maybe you're like, you know, doing something that requires more than just your input. And that can be difficult for Capricorn because we like to control everything, don't we? You have to release a little bit of control in order for that to work. So that'll be interesting. And that's where the values comes in, right? So yes, you can value doing it right and you can value really wanting to you know, just have it go perfectly, right? That I feel like that's one of the things underlying the Capricornian control is like, well, if I don't do it myself, how do I know it's gonna go right? That's me
Oh no. Yeah.
in a nutshell. I'm like, oh damn it, why do I gotta call myself out? Uh,
So
but for real, but for real. So anyway, this full moon is going to be a little bit about releasing control, but also a little bit about just checking in with your own values. Um, It's gonna be difficult, but I know you can do this. But anyway, the tension, it's really interesting that the tension and like the square is coming from the fifth house, because the fifth house is about creativity, or was that bonding or bondage?
With Capricorn being the devil card, it could be any. Either.
Both.
Both.
Talk to me about budgets while I'm tied up, baby. Wow, I have a new kink.
Lots of
Okay.
red tape.
Oh shit. talk, talk to me about your dividends. The king of fucking pentacles comes out. Oh my god. Oh shit. Okay. So anyway, the square coming from the fifth house is really interesting because it's like you might really want to engage in something that's really fun and creative, and like, you know, you might want to like literally purchase things for some kind of creative project, but it's like you have to check in with other people, eighth house, and with your own resources, second house. Is it actually practical? Can you actually do it um realistically, right? That's kind of where that square is coming in. um and then, you know, on the flip side of that, how can you take that creative endeavor, that hobby of yours, that fifth house, you know, sexual energy, and make money with it? You got this, Capricorn. I mean, it's not all about money, but it is. It's not.
Real talk.
It's not, but it is. And that
Well,
it kind of annoys me when people talk about Capricorn like that, but just being real here.
when it's, yeah, I mean, they're probably some of the most real people I know. On the bottom, this, I glanced at this when you were talking about, you know, a balance. The two of coins is on the bottom. I might have to turn that off. But yeah, there you go. Two of coins.
It's a Capricorn card. I love it.
100%. And the coin has a tooth on it and a crystal, which we've established as being parts of the body. So that is balancing wisdom with your health. You know, you can be as pragmatic as you want, but again, be wise. Don't push yourself too hard is kind of what I'm getting from that. Body care. But the first thing that flew out was this Ace of Wands. You know, we're talking about creation. Yep, something new. Are you making a baby? What are you making? What kind of baby is this? I had a dream about a mermaid baby with like whale legs. It was great. Yes, whale legs. Who knows?
Like the goatfish.
Kind of, but with legs. It was adorable. They were all there. So the other thing that came out was actually the sun, Capricorn. So instead of just being pragmatic for the sake of pragmatism, recognize that, like the tattoos on these hands and on mine, not just mine, but on the card, everything will be seen. This is all of your work is not just for you and your own satisfaction. That is absolutely a factor. And that's why a lot of these signs tend to do these things, because it feels good to them. It feels good to me to have things in order. But you know what? It feels good to everyone to have things in order. That everything you do there is witnessed. It bears witness and it has a witness. Yes, exactly. And that's the sun. The sun is kind of like the star, right? It is a star. It shines. It's very bright, but it also nourishes. It also causes things to grow. That's why it goes star, moon, and then the sun, because it's bigger than itself. It's bigger than everything. It's bigger than all. It's not the only thing there is, but yeah, that's what I got for you, Cap.
I love that. Also, Cody, I love that you said that. If you think about the Capricorn map, first house Capricorn, second house Aquarius. Aquarius is the resources, literally community wealth. Literally. Can't make that shit up. But anyway, um, heck yeah, Rachel. I love that the sun card came out. That's so badass.
Yeah.
Damn, son. Okay, I just I peeked at the bottom of the deck. There's the Six of Wands. What up?
Yes.
Also, super fun little fact for you guys is 555's on the clock and 22's in the chat. The cards associated for this lunation are 6, 6, and 6.
Ooh, 656 over here.
There's the Six of Pentacles. What's up? Okay, so that's where Uranus is, right? So Six of Pentacles. And then also the Devil card came out. So Capricorn, what up? You showed up to your own reading. This is kind of badass. I'm not gonna lie. This card's kind of sick. Why is it gotta look evil though? Come on, come on. Anyway, oh, and the 15, 1 and 5 6. Okay.
$6 shoes for this venture? Maybe.
Sixes continue. Okay, so Six of Pentacles with the Devil card. And the Six of Wands underneath. 666. Of course. Capricorn. Fuck. Okay, we get it. You're loud. I get it. Jesus. Alright. So again, with this axis being lit up, we are talking about resources and shared resources. With the Devil card coming in, now this can be read in multiple different ways. My first and foremost way to read this, while talking about Capricorn specifically, is that it's your energy, Capricorn. This energy of responsibility and maturity. Everybody take your shots. Get out of here. Now, you need to be responsible with your resources and accountable for your own resources, and make sure that whatever arrangements you're making with people, whatever projects you're doing with people, whether you're moving in with somebody, whether you're balancing your own budget or doing some kind of business venture, whatever the fuck it is, make sure that you have stuff in writing and make sure that it's going to be fair, right? You actually have a ton of value and self-worth, or you need to anyway, in order for things to, actually balance themselves out in the long run. In order to lead a healthy and happy life, right? You need to have self-worth. So just make sure that you're not making any decisions from a place of lack or from a place of not feeling worthy, right? And if that is something that is coming up with this second eighth axis, tap into that, feel into that, right? We talk a lot about embodiment, right? Seriously, what sensations do you feel when you realize that you're struggling in that area? So there's something there to work through for sure. Yeah, I think that's it, really. And I mean, there's a fucking you have a victory incoming, okay? So I love that. It's like as long as you do what you know is going to be best for you, that is the most loving thing that you can do, and that's what's going to lead you to this victory. Anyway, say it loud, say it proud. Hey, what's up, Martin? Martin, I just took a break reading The Six Pillars of Self-Esteem by Perfect. You know what? That's awesome. Martin, will you read that to us on Wednesday?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be nice. I miss you guys. Wednesdays have been busy. Anyway, okay. Heck yes. Sorry for my fingers, guys. I apologize. But I'm not going to stop. Sagittarius! Yeah, that's a sweet sync. So many sixes. Okay. Sage. Sage, sage, sage. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, Venus is in the third house for you, Capricorn, so communication is key. Okay, anyway, Sage, Sagittarius. So for you guys, the full moon, new moon business is playing out in the third and ninth house axis, where the ninth house is where the full moon is. Okay, so anyway, the third ninth axis, this talks of communication and learning. Key or tools rather, communication. That's the third house. And then the ninth house is about like travel, higher education. It is the temple or the university that you study in order to walk your path of being a Sagittarius. So we're dealing with spiritual beliefs. We're dealing with spiritual structures. We're dealing with learning and listening. We're dealing with trying to communicate something, and also maybe even running into some kind of a teacher or some person that is wiser than you in some manner that wants to teach you or show you something. Whether you decide to, absorb that lesson or not, that's up to you, Sage. That is up to you. So the square is coming from Taurus, right? Taurus is your sixth house, the house of health and the physical body in general and service. So for you, Sagittarius, what I see with this is there's something going on with either your health or your work routine that is causing you to, or bring some kind of major shakeup, right? Some kind of shakeup to your life where all of a sudden you're seeing things from a more spiritual point of view. And I mean, if you're here, maybe that doesn't apply to you and you already are. Or it sets you on a path to learn something that is maybe outside of your comfort zone. And maybe even something that will kind of put you into the spotlight in some way. And that can be uncomfortable. But again, like with the square to Taurus, it's really just about ensuring that you stay embodied, stay in your body. The more things that you can do that are like helpful for your health, by the way, will be better, right? So just keep all that in mind. Now, Venus is in your fourth house. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Okay, so Venus traveling through the fourth. So you have an honored guest in your house right now. That can quite literally manifest in a literal fashion, by the way, is somebody coming to your house that is like an honored guest, which is fucking mind-blowing to me. I'm sitting in a Sagittarius Rising's house right now, and I'm the fucking princess, okay? Just literally. Okay, but anyway,
Must be nice.
it's weird. It's
So
weird as fuck.
weird.
Oh my
Oh.
god. But anyway, how you can work with this Venusian energy, right? Since the fourth house represents literally the physical home, it also is talking about suppressed feelings, suppressed desires, suppressed emotions in general. Using the beauty and the art of Venus, you can really help yourself move energy, right? So again, Venus is about beauty and the arts, and yeah, it could be about love, and yeah, it could be about money, but not in Pisces. In Pisces, it's about veneration of the most holy, okay? So tap into that Venus energy through art, through some kind of spiritual practices, even in your home. And that will help you work through the health and the communication, interesting stuff that's going to come up for you. Okay. Yeah, dude. Kill those parasites. Speaking of sixth house stuff, I need to do that.
Do it.
Oh, Sage.
Oh, Sagittarius.
Sage guitarist.
Sage guitarist. Instead of an axe, you have a mighty blade. This is Sovereign of Swords, who is
Oh,
Queen of Swords in this deck. So there's a crown with roses and a butterfly and some wings in front of some mountains. So butterflies are typical of the queen, or well, of the swords royalty in general. Transformation, renewal of the mind, renewal of spirit. You said something earlier, and I'm not remembering. It was such a good sync. It has to do with life and death. Um, you know, the queen is an initiator. She's the one who knights the knights. She says, you are ready for the next level. And sometimes you need to initiate yourself. Take initiative is what that means. And if you need to give yourself a ceremony to do that, by all means, do that for yourself. Have fun. That is also a form of self-care and self-love. Um, but also a big sign of commitment to anyone else in your life, whether they're conscious of it or not. You're putting out the dedication. Dedication is another word that comes to mind with swordsmanship and leadership. So that's kind of what I'm getting from this. Hope that makes sense, Serge.
I like that.
Yeah. On the bottom is the Six of Coins. So it is much more about the giving side, but also being willing to receive. Whoa! Are you serious? Serious right now? Yeah.
I love it when this happens, Rachel. This is why
I
you gotta
know.
come on. This is why you gotta come on. Our readings are always like fucking so
We
perfect.
do that.
Oh
It's
man,
pretty great.
fucking brain horns. Okay.
For real.
Gut behind me, Satan. Parasites are gross. Okay.
They're so gross.
Okay, yeah, so Six of Pentacles underneath, double confirmation Sagittarius. There is something about self-worth and value and the need to balance things that's really important here. Um, especially since this square is coming from the sixth house, I just want to say, like, really be taking care of your health, right? Really be taking care of your health, whatever that means for you, right? And wherever you're at with that on your journey is fine. There's always something new that you can implement, or just improve, uh, that'll be really helpful. Okay, so the star wanted to come out. She really wanted to come out earlier, but I was like, no, 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 it's not that card. And then it flipped out of the deck. So I was like, okay, clearly Sagittarius needs to know that they're a fucking star. Um, there is something inherently healing and regenerative about this card in general. Um, I mean, yes, it's associated with Aquarius and with being like a little bit okay. It's like it's okay to be weird and it's okay to be a little different and it's okay to be authentic, right? Like what is authentically you? Um, don't be don't pay attention to what anybody else is doing, Sagittarius. This is about what you want with your life and what you want to do. Um, I love that. And then also the moon came out. So there's hidden things, there's secrets, there's psychic shit going on. Really psychic shit going on. That's wild. The star and the moon. Huh. 17 and 18, eh? That's trippy. Kind of feel like you need to face some fears about something. Um, and actually that I just mentioned, like, not allowing yourself to even think about what other people are doing or what they're going to say, because it doesn't matter at the end of the day. That's a fear that you need to face. um, and there's something about this Leo lunation that's like having the courage to act no matter what, because it doesn't like it doesn't matter what forces you're being presented with. You need to move through those forces. You need to push through it. I would also say, like, not every thought that you think is actually your thoughts, right? And not every thought that you think is true. Um, and with the sun moving through your third house of communication, I mean, that's not really specifically the house of thoughts, but we're talking about the moon, we're talking about hidden stuff, and we've got this really weird Uranian energy in your sixth house. squaring things. So it's kind of like you could very well be picking up signals um, from other people, from other entities. Who fucking knows anymore? Aliens, the government, who knows? But quite
Programming.
literally, hey,
Programming.
yeah,
Things
literally
we're
just
programmed to think. Yeah.
exactly, right? So maybe it would be an excellent opportunity to go through a little bit of an inventory or take a little bit of time to write down what it is that's coming to your head that's causing you to feel fear. Because it's quite likely not true or it's from your past, right? So do some practices around that. Um, if you're having troubles this lunation and yeah, especially with Venus going through the fourth, like I just keep coming back to this is supposed to be a healing and regenerative energy, and then you've got the star card coming in to confirm that. It's like Venus is doing this really gentle job of pulling things up to the surface that you've probably suppressed. Work with this energy as much as you can because in March, Saturn is moving into this house and Saturn will bring fears and anxieties. So clear what you can now. Allow, right? Allow this Venusian energy to be healing um, in preparation for, the next step. So anyway, that's what I got for you, Satch.
Beauteous.
Fucking psychic, okay?
For real. I have to throw this in because I was gonna put this up somewhere, but just because I noticed some of these little icons down here. On the hand that's giving, there is kind of a coin with a nail on it and a coin with a bone. So the bones are absolutely, body, physical body, feeling, grounding, and earth. And I've been wondering what this nail is. And then I remembered that the nail is the Hebrew yod. Yod is a nail. It's super tiny. That letter is yod. And this deck has tons of hands in it. So you're giving not just from your physical body, but from the hand of God. So in one sense, this is very much you and other people, but it's also the exchange between God and you, and whether you're receptive enough. Have you stopped? Are you the seeker, or have you been found? Is kind of what was coming through with that. So yeah, just everything you were saying was making me think about that. You were reading this whole card to me, but yeah.
That's cool. I love that.
Yup.
PK says, stop being a little bitch, Sag. There, I said it. That's not what I was saying, but yeah. Oh man. PK just wants us to get to Taurus. I get it. I understand. I get it. You'll be fine. Scorpio. Scorpio. As a fixed sign, this lunation is going to be really interesting for you and probably be very visible in your life. Why? Well, um, the full moon is happening in your, oh, I don't want to get it wrong, 10th house. So anyway, Leo's your 10th house, Aquarius is your 4th house. So we're lighting up the 4th, 10th axis with this one. And the square from Uranus is happening in Taurus, your 7th house. So this is lighting up your 4th house of home, your private space, your suppressed, most deep and hidden desires. It's lighting up your career, your public obligation house. Literally, that's where the focus is with the moon, and partnerships. So interesting. So I'm seeing this as like either a major career victory, but be aware of hubris. Okay, be aware that you can get lost in overconfidence. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Um, good times. But yeah, anytime we see a lunation on the 4th, 10th axis like this, it's all about balancing private and public to me. And I think of Gabe instantly. I'm like, what's up, Gabe? Jenny's singing in the chat. Beautiful. Hi, Benna. But anyway, yeah, so it's kind of like what plans need to be made at home, right? We're talking about Aquarius. We're talking about that expert planning, right? The scientific planning in the middle decan. What kind of plans need to be at home so that it can assist your rise in career or your success in career? Maybe not even rise, right? Maybe you don't want to take on new responsibilities. Maybe you just want to do a good job. Whatever. I would hope you want to keep rising, but hey, Scorpio, you do you. But what kind of plans need to be made at home? What kind of like systems need to be implemented in order for the rest of your life to go a little bit more smoothly? Now, the square coming from the 7th house is really interesting because it's like your partner needs to be engaged in the conversation to help you do this. Yeah, that's pretty much all I'm kind of seeing with that. They might even really be longing for a little bit more freedom. So what kind of comes to mind with that is just thinking about it in that way is like, if they want more freedom, if they want to be a little bit more, untethered, what kind of systems can you put in place that can allow them more freedom? You know what I mean? Like when you have a routine and you do stuff ahead of time, like say, for example, meal prep, right? Meal prep for the week, suddenly you freed up a ton of time and mental space. Right? So just a quick little side example for you. Now, Venus, Venus is currently in your 5th house. So exalted Venus in Pisces and rejoicing in the 5th house. Freaking beautiful energy. Um, do I, it's a fun word, okay? uh, Gabe, I don't see any shrinking of emoji sizes, but maybe that's me. Okay, but anyway, so Venus in the 5th house, freaking fantastic. Use this artistic and creative energy to you can like gamify your systems. You know what I mean? Venus loves games. That's why she likes the 5th house. So gamify your systems. Gamify something that you're doing at home. Um, and yeah, that'll help you manage. Okay.
I
Outfit
love
prep
that.
too. Okay, whoa. One system at a time.
Well, I don't. That's hard. That's great.
Outfit prep. I'm
Perfect.
like jeans and whatever goes with jeans. Perfect. Done.
Yeah, 4 shirts that go with jeans.
What
Perfect.
can
I can
can I
pick
wear
any of
plaid?
those. Yeah. Yes.
Can I wear plaid with my camo? No? Do it anyway. Okay.
Yeah. Do it. You can do what you want. Well, 2 cards fully brought out for you, and that is the Ace of Wands, creating these systems, creating new beautiful things. But also, it's not just creating something. There's a wand involved. There's an instrument. There's a tool involved. It's an extension of you. The processes, the systems, the tools, those are an extension of you that enable you to put your flow forward with less exhaustion. Canadian tuxedo. I like that. Yeah, that's what wands do. They enable you. I mean, if you think about it in movies and books and things where you talk about wizards who have a wand, why do they have that? So that when they cast lightning, they don't blow their arm off. They can actually, channel it through the wand, and it's an extension of themselves. Same thing with the staff. You're going to be more grounded when you have a tool. And you're going to get that with the Six of Swords. This is one of the most beautiful cards in this deck. With this flower for love, some swords kind of crisscrossing, and this jawbone where we keep a lot of tension and we keep the control of our mouth and what comes out of it. which manifests our thoughts. So if you're talking about the past and you're only thinking about the past, and the past is what you're creating, and I'm not sure if that's really causing you much love. It sounds like something you might need to let go of, which is what the Six of Swords is traditionally about. It's releasing the past. The swords that are at the top have little bird wings and they're pointed down. They're not aggressive. They're not jutting out and they're not venturing out and being crazy and wild. They're coming to you in peace. These are ideas that come from a place of peace and inspiration and a place from love. And you can only get that with freedom. So set yourself free, put some things in place to do that, get some space to allow those beautiful and loving ideas to come to you so that you understand what processes will make things most easy. I love that you said to gamify it, because when you turn things into a game and you know the rules, it becomes easy and it becomes fun.
It's my favorite life hack. Make it a game. Boom, done.
Yeah.
Love that you pulled the Six of Swords. That's the deck and where the sun is for this full moon, so that's pretty neat.
Ooh.
Yeah, so what I got for you, Scorpio? I got the Chariot. Dun, dun, dun. What's up, Chariot? Na, 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 na. The game of life, gamify life, and also temperance. So we got some Cancer symbolism and some Sagittarius symbolism. What's fascinating to me about these two cards is both of them are dealing with opposites, right? With the Chariot, we're dealing with the two Sphinxes, the two diametrically opposed energies, right? Just on like an astronomical basis, if Cancer is the summer solstice, it's the sun when it's reached its highest peak. So it's the sun coming up and it's the sun coming down. I think that's the two Sphinxes, but that's me. Anyway, so anyway, you've got these two totally opposed energies, and the Chariot is bringing them, in line to go in a single direction, to go towards victory. The Chariot can also be talking about, stuff going on at home. And I mean, like I said, we are dealing with that 10th, fourth axis. And with temperance, right? Temperance or alchemy or whatever you want to call this card, freaking beautiful. Look at that angel. It's blurry. Why? Why you gotta be blurry? This art is too beautiful for a blurry camera. But anyway, with temperance again, we've got these two totally different things that we're bringing together in some fashion, that we're marrying together. It's the process of alchemy, taking something, purifying it, and then putting it back together in a totally new form. I also love that with the big six theme, the sixes on the cards for the Decans, just pulled the Six of Swords. There's this idea of balance inherent in the six too, right? It's 24 in the chat right now. At 124 in the stream, there's more sixes. Oh my god. I don't know. This is kind of like there's a major victory, Scorpio. Like, that's the first word that pops into my mind with the Chariot. It's a major victory, but it's going to require some kind of like some adjustments on your side of things. It's like it's not that you need to make any kind of compromises, but it is kind of like there's your passions, there's your desires, there's, whatever the fuck it is that you're trying to drive towards, right? Whatever that goal is of yours. And there's other people's stuff too that you have to take into account. And kind of like I was saying, like I can see a major career victory coming. I feel like that's only going to that's only going to happen and be sustained, right? Not just like, you can have a temporary victory and then an immediate fall. If you want that victory to remain a victory, to stay a victory, and to not have an immediate fall right after that, it's like you need to bring in some kind of compromise or some kind of temperance, even of your own, not desires, but maybe your own. Well, yeah, maybe desires is exactly the thing, right? Yeah, a simmering down, I guess you could say. Yeah, simmer it down, Scorpio. We need a more concentrated version of you. Do we really? I don't know about that, but
Maybe.
yeah, concentrated a little bit. So something was just brought up recently about the difference between the fire of the sun and the fire of Mars that was fascinating to me. And thinking about Mars ruled signs, so like Scorpio and Aries, and the sun ruled sign of Leo. With the sun, it's this radiating fire that touches everybody and everything equally, right? It doesn't it's not really concentrated, whereas Mars fire is concentrated into a single ray. It's really interesting just thinking about those two qualities of like fire and that kind of energy and light. I don't remember where I was going. Oh yeah, that's where I was going with that. Scorpio with Leo as your 10th house. Um, when we're talking about career and obligation and authority figures, you're dealing with a solar energy in that house. So while you naturally will want to focus in a single ray in a single direction, when it comes to your obligations in your career, you have to be more like the sun than like Mars. So it's like you need to take that single focused point of energy and allow it to disperse a little bit and touch more than just what you might desire in that moment. That's what I got to say.
Boom.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Libra. Libra. Hey, Libra. All right, so for you guys, Chance would say we're in the not evil half of the zodiac now. That still cracks me up. I don't know. All right, so anyway, Libra. For you guys, the full moon is happening in your 11th house. Leo is your 11th house, and Aquarius is the 5th house, and the square is coming from the 8th. So all three of these houses are dealing in some fashion with, well, okay, let's start with the 11th house, all right? With the 11th house, we're talking about our wider social network, but we're also talking about the rewards that we gain from our career. So anytime you receive a reward, a promotion, a raise, any kind of like trophy or certification, that's technically an 11th house activation. It's also talking about like our longer term goals and wishes and hopes for the future. That's the 11th house. Um, So that's where the full moon is happening. That's an amazing place to have a crazy victory, right? Like Six of Wands, victory, full moon in Leo, 11th house, boom. So, Libra, what kind of things do you want to manifest for your long-term hopes and dreams and wishes, right? What are you hoping to bring about? Um, the opposition to the 5th house is like, I mean, the balance point here is these are your long-term goals, but the 5th house is like more immediate pleasure, satisfaction. It's games, it's risks, it's fun, it's romance, but it's like the immediate. Whereas 11th house is more planned out, more long-term. It's something that you really have to work towards. So that's an interesting balance point for you, Libra. Now the square coming from Taurus is coming from your 8th house. So there's something completely weird and eclectic and unexpected, possibly causing an interesting shakeup here. 8th house can deal with shared resources, it can deal with trust. All right, so we're talking about the 5th house, the house of romance, 8th house, the house of deep, intense bonding and trust. And there's a square there, right? Oftentimes in relationship, actually, I would argue every time in relationship, once you get to that point of being really deeply bonded, there's traumas that come up from childhood, from previous relationships. That's that square coming up. Is it still fun and light, or, are you touching each other's souls? You know what I mean? That's that square. And sometimes, well, you kind of have to work through those things in real time, and it will affect your long-term goals. Now, you can build long-term goals with other people, but sometimes, the people that you're bonding with, the people that you're in relationships with, not all the time will their goals align with yours. This is the nature of that T-square. So that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting to work through that. Now, Venus is sitting in your 6th house of health and service. Um, so I kind of want to say, like, the way through the unexpected trust and intimacy stuff that's coming up with this axis being lit up like this is work on grounding it through your body with physical practices. Oh, I love that. Andy says, as you said, shake things. I was reading, some things are only whole when they are shattered. Damn, son. Mm. Huh. I'm gonna marinate on that. But anyway, Venus in the 6th house is a really so Venus literally represents you, Libra. Okay, as a Libra rising, Venus is your chart ruler. Being in the 6th house, this is helping you with your health and helping you rededicate yourself to some kind of aspects of service. I do want to give a little bit of a warning. Be careful about sweets right now. Okay, Venus in the 6th house can really cause you to crave sweets. I think I said this last week, but it bears repeating. Um, repetition is built into every great space mission, whether you believe we went to space or not. You can apply that to whatever you want. But anyway, Venus in the 6th is a healing. Okay, so um, uh, is a healing influence. So work with that energy. And I think I already said that twice, so we're just gonna move on. I got distracted. Sorry. I don't like doing this on my phone. I'm getting notifications and it's distracting and shit. And oh my god. Anyway, Libra, what are your long-term goals? Okay, and are your daily habits helping you through that? And also, don't or keep going back to what fills your own cup, and that will assist you while working through this crazy ass T-square going on. Okay, that's what I gotta say. Fuck. It's a lot of
Well,
words. It's a lot of words.
so many words. Almost all the words.
You are the
Um,
word.
so swords came out. Yes. But you have the Conqueror of Swords.
Also, I'm gonna take a stretch break.
Do it. So
Speaking
the
of body stuff,
Conqueror, do it. There's a lot of self-care aspects coming out in like all these signs. Um, the Conqueror is the Knight of Swords. So having a more youthful approach might be beneficial. It's youthful, but it's not the page. It maintains its youth and its vitality while being in a more mature place. The thorns around these wings and around this sword seem to be restricting, but they're also defensive. It's learning how to self-defend without being overly aggressive is probably a good lesson for the Conqueror. The Knight of Swords tends to kind of just rush right in and be like, all right, boom, here I am. I'm fixing the problem. I'm doing all the things. I'm thinking of everything, solving this, solving that. Chill out is the message there with the Four of Swords. Focus. Yeah. Again, these bones. Taking time with this clock. Focus. Taking time for the body. I might not be allowed to be blurry. I'm so sorry, guys. But there we go. Yeah. Allow what's new and fresh to slow you down into a pause and to take pauses of peace and rest. Because even in the middle of chaos, if you can slip into a second of peace, you can drive full on. You'll be like, oh, that's where I need to go. Oh, that's the route I need to take. Sometimes it only takes a second. But that's the message I'm getting here. Is to, be mentally relaxed. Get that self-mastery. More mastery than, control or, being reckless.
I love that. I love that. Self-mastery. Self-mastery is a fantastic way to look at the 6th house. Fuck yeah. I love that.
It benefits the relationships too, with everybody. Because when we start to, air signs do tend to work with others. And I think that aspect gets a little bit lost in tarot sometimes because we only see the relationship in certain cards. But if you think about an astrological point of view, air signs tend to deal with people and the ether and spirit connection.
How are you communicating if you're not communicating to another person?
Right? Come on, Beth. Who are you talking to?
Who are you talking to? What would be the point of talking?
Yeah.
All right, so that was kind of a half-assed stretch break, but still, it was a stretch break nonetheless. We gotta keep going. Let's go, Libra. I don't want to knock shit over while I'm trying to get up, so we're just gonna, yeah. Okay, Libra. What we got for you, my friends? I'll just pull cards if you don't want to talk. Right? Just fine. Don't make me pull cards. Thank you. Oh, sick. Okay. So we got the Queen of Wands, Libra, showing up to her own reading. What's up? What's up, Libra? The 10 of Cups and the 9 of Wands. Oh, okay. What are your long-term goals? What is it that you're aiming towards? What is it that you're actually trying to manifest? What would make your heart sing the most? Yes, it's difficult. There's going to be a lot of work involved. This is the Lord of Great Strength, okay? This is like, you have come so freaking far. You have done so much work, and you're almost there. Don't you dare give up. There's like one last obstacle to go through, all right? Queen of Swords. Be decisive, right? But be fair. I love it when that happens. That's cool. Anyway, be decisive, but be fair. Also make sure that you are clear when communicating with other people your needs. Especially if we're talking about themes of self-mastery with the 6th house for you, Libra, with Venus being in the 6th house specifically. Focusing a little bit there and focusing on, well, it's really just focusing on one thing at a time is going to be really big, right? One foot in front of the other. So focusing on one thing at a time, okay? The 9 only needs one last step to complete whatever it's going towards, whatever it is, whatever spiritual, inspiring project that you've got building, whatever goal it is that you're working towards manifesting. And of course, there's the 1 right there. So have a singular focus. Don't get lost with Venus and Pisces, okay? That can be one potential side effect of having your chart ruler go into Pisces, regardless of her exaltation. It can be like you get so lost in the deep abyssal waters of Pisces that you forget to take care of the real world stuff, which is potentially where this like tension squares, gonna trigger. So stay in the real world, keep a singular focus, don't ignore your body at this time, and just keep going, right? One foot in front of the other, seriously. One foot in front of the other. So one other thing I would say is like, how do you sharpen iron? Right, Rachel? How do you sharpen a sword? You need something harder. So this is an initiation, and it's a big step for you. Okay? It's a big step for you. Anyway, you got this. Just keep moving forward. That's it.
Beautiful.
Don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop.
That's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Nice.
Ace of Cups underneath. Seriously, Libra, that's freaking beautiful. Oh my goodness. See, that's what you get. If you don't give up, you don't give up. There's your wish fulfillment right there. Gorgeous. I think this deck just likes you guys. Okay,
Aw.
Virgo. Right? That's unfortunate, Cody. I hate it when clouds obscure my star viewing. Okay. Virgo. Virgo, Virgo, Virgo. All right, so for you guys, we're lighting up the 12th and 6th axis. This time, full moon for you is falling in your 12th house. This is the house of spirituality. This is the house of sleep, right? Sleep is the 12th house, the subconscious. The things you don't know that you don't know. And if you don't know, now you know, brother. Um, but anyway, so there has been a big focus for you in the 6th house with the sun in Aquarius, right? So it's lighting up your habits. It's showing you where you can improve and bring systems into place to assist yourself with your daily routine, right? Like I mentioned in a previous reading, I don't remember who now, but I'm talking about gamifying and systemifying things where if you implement systems, it helps free up a ton of time, right? Time and um, all of that fun stuff. It's been too cloudy and too bright here, but I saw some sweet videos. But anyway, so well, the sun in Aquarius, right, for this entire month, work on systems, and that will systems that will help you live your life in a more efficient manner. Okay, now with the full moon in the 12th house, I mean, number one, this can be a really psychic lunation for you, right? Like, so pay attention to your dreams. If you have like different like song lyrics pop into your head, or you think of a scene from a movie, go and watch the whole scene from it, right? You never know what kind of stuff and information can come in from anywhere, really, that can illuminate something for you, that ties into something, that syncs, that is part of a synchronicity, and there's information for you, right? Obviously, like, can't trust everything, but still, if you have, with this lunation, okay, if you have stuff coming up, go and look into it a little bit, because there might be a message there for you. Especially if you can tie in some manner of divination to do it. So, like bibliomancy, or like hitting shuffle on a random playlist and just seeing what comes up. Play around with this a little bit, because the square from Taurus is coming from your 9th house. This is literally the house of divination. There's a few things that go with the 9th house that have to do with publishing things, spirituality, but it's a house of divination. So it could be actually that there is some kind of major shakeup occurring in your belief structure or in your spirituality in general. Um, and this kind of a shakeup can really bring you into some kind of a healing crisis. This is where you want to tap into, you know, making sure that you are embodied 6th house, and meditating 12th house, or paying attention to warnings and messages from your dreams and from different, like I said, different sources. Um, So play around with that a little bit, all right? Now, Venus, the relief here, the assisting hand from Venus is coming from your seventh house because she's in Pisces, which is your seventh. So, this would actually be a fantastic time to sit down with somebody that can engage in some kind of divination practice with you, right? Venus rules Taurus, Venus is in Pisces in your seventh house. Seventh house is one-on-one interaction. So sit down with someone that can help you with some divination or assist you with some divination if you are struggling. If you're not struggling, then disregard all of the things that I just said and just have fun with it. Because all squares don't have to be a struggle, right? It can be, it can actually be fun and activating, right? It's not necessarily always conflict. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, thank you, Martin. I appreciate that. Okay, what do we got for Virgo cards? Oops, back out of that. And just a reminder, if you guys want a personal card reading, the description box below's got a little link for PayPal, and anything you send to us, I'll be splitting with Rachel, so don't worry about it not being fair since we're talking about Six of Pentacles stuff. Yeah. Or, if you're seeing lots of green, maybe you need to work with green because the heart chakra stuff is out or whatever. I love playing with colors and scents like that.
Ooh, Virgo. Ooh. I wasn't sure what would come out for Virgo. Two of Cups.
Nice. Yes. Venus in the
All the
seventh.
love.
Yes. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, that's all the love. All the connection. There's roses, there's glasses, there's this beautiful star. It's just beautiful. And it's always better with a person. It can be between you. You could be making love to yourself, enjoying yourself. It can be between you and spirit. Shoot, have some ecstatic moments. Ooh, or it's complete and total romance. Virgo, do you need somebody to love? Don't you want somebody to love? Yeah, and you know what? The Chariot's on the bottom. So the thing Virgo needs to remember is that it takes two horses to pull a chariot. And maybe you do need a partner who you love and who loves you. Most Virgos that I know are some of the most hardworking, beautiful women I've ever met. And they definitely deserve to have a partner who recognizes that, honors that, and can run with them. So that's what I got for you, Virgo.
Dude, 100%. Like, Virgo is about service in the end. Virgo's about service. And the Virgo Pisces axis, that 1/7 axis, they need someone that can be just as dedicated to a sacred service as them. That's the Virgo Pisces axis. So fucking love it. Okay, anyway.
No, it's beautiful. That's so true.
You would not believe what the fucking cards that I got, dude. Yo. Virgo, who are you meeting this week? Seriously, what the fuck? So we got the Knight of Cups, okay? Knight of Cups, beautiful. That is a brand spanking new and frankly fucking exciting offer. Like, yeah, exactly.
Ooh.
Confirmed by the Two of Cups, damn. And then the Nine of Cups came out on my side. What? So this is Middle Deacon of Pisces, by the way. Which is where Venus will be. So just putting that out there. Quadruple confirmation. And then underneath the fucking deck, dude, the King of Cups. So with this lunation, okay, there is the possibility of it bringing up some potentially difficult stuff. The 6th and 12th axis is not a fun one to deal with. However, definitely, 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 definitely tap into your partnerships, right? Outsource things if you need to, consult with other people if you need to, really make use of this time with Venus in your seventh house, right? Engage with partnerships. It could even be that like something crazy goes down or nothing. Like honestly, most of the time nothing happens. Most of the time nothing happens. But if nothing crazy happens, something's happening in your love life, okay? So like this is a new offer and this is it working out really well, right? And then King of Cups, you're asked you're asked to embody a position of emotional maturity. Okay. J-Lo, you must be a couple minutes behind. I love it. But anyway, you're asked to embody emotional maturity. So there's like this young and exciting energy, but this like in the background, there's this steady rock, this calm and soothing energy. It's like, yes, this is fun, this is exciting, but at the same time, um, I know my worth, I know my value, I know my goals, and this is exciting and fun. But as long as it also aligns with what I've already got going on, then perfect. Yes, it will continue. Um, but anyway, enjoy the gift from Venus. Okay. Leo. Leo. All eyes on me. Um, yeah, so full moon in your house, my friends. Aw, J-Lo, it's because you're too magical. She says I keep making the devices wonky when they're near me, so they go slow or crash. It's true. I did a reading with JLo and we had some interesting technological glitches. That was a wild reading. I will never forget that. Okay, Leo. Full moon in your house. This is exciting. I hope Rachel comes back. That sucks that she just dropped, but she'll probably be back. Anyway, so Sun's been in your seventh house, right? Really lighting up the area of relationships for you, putting a focus on, well, your focus, right? Because if you're a Leo rising, the sun is literally your chart ruler. It represents you. So your focus has been on relationships, has been on partnerships. Now the moon will be in your house manifesting something for your life. First, seventh axis is kind of fun. Um, like I have repeated many, many times. Oh, thank you, Martin, for hanging out. Appreciate you, my brother. You artistic, magical wizard. Um, so anyway, first, seventh house, I say it time and again, right? It can be romantic relationships, it can be business relationships. It is something usually formal. Some kind of formal arrangement is often seen with the first seventh axis. So anyway, um, the square for you is coming from the 10th house. So when it comes to relationships and when it comes to your career, there's something that's coming from either an authority figure or, you know, maybe a career goal that you have that is activating. And yeah, 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 JLo, let Rachel come back. Anyway, there's something coming from authority figure or some kind of like career goal of yours that's activating and like kind of it can it can do a couple things. It can bring you closer together, or it can really exemplify the differences that you guys have, which is not a bad thing, right? Until things become illuminated, you can't work with them. Does that make sense? It should for Leo. Anyway, Venus is in your eighth house. This is an extremely fantastic place for Venus to be in Pisces in the 8th because she brings an extremely protective energy into the 8th house. But also, she's like the way out of this T-square tension. So there's something about needing to tap into either some kind of occult science or actually learning to trust. Um, Thank you, James. Oh no. Shit. Oh, that's funny. Uh, Thanks for letting us know, James. I appreciate you. Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh man. Yep, that's pretty standard. Okay, so anyway, Venus is an extremely protective energy in the 8th house because the 8th house is considered to be a place of unexpected things, death and rebirth and all of that stuff. But Venus is exalted in Pisces, and she's a beneficial energy. So it's not that things can't go bad when you have Venus transiting through the 8th house, but it softens it. There's a higher purpose and a higher meaning to things, and it's almost like you can see some of the higher purpose, some of the higher meanings. It's almost like you can. It's almost like she makes it easier for you to tap into the why of why things happened. And Rachel is back. Yeah, yeah. What's up, girl?
Hey, got a lot of electricity going on over here. It's okay.
We're just talking about Uranus, and he's like, "What's up?"
Pretty much. Oh, yeah, there you go. It's like, speaking
Yeah.
of.
So anyway, Leo, this lunation is all about relationships, and it's all about how those partnerships fit into your career. And Venus wants to help you. So maybe like tap into um, some shared resources, or voice your concerns with a partner, or actually you could do some fantastically healing, deep psychological work while Venus is going through your 8th as well. So keep those in mind. Keep all that in mind. Okay. Cards for Leo. Aw, dude, Mel, yo, you have to go back and watch Virgo. That's hilarious. That is freaking hilarious. I can't even right now. Rachel, what the fuck? Do you see this shit right here?
Yeah, I'm seeing it.
Yo, yo, oh my
I
god.
love this. I
And
love
he's a
this.
pirate. Oh my god. Dude, I didn't even realize I was picking up Melanie's energy, but apparently I was picking up Melanie's energy.
There you go.
That's the best. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, Leo, you got the Magi, the Magician. Oh, come on. Live in a world of blur.
No.
It's not happening. All right. Well,
There's
guys, I didn't want you to see my life, but now you're going to see it. So don't
like
judge.
nothing going on.
I know. I got some roses back there.
I want you to see my boring room.
Don't see my boring room. We haven't painted yet.
God.
All right. The Magi. Got your cup, your crystal chalice. I love this in the background. It might be a little hard to see, but I think it's turning out okay on the camera. There's a road in the background leading into kind of like a wooded area in the hologram of it.
I can kind of see it.
Yeah, it's kind of faint anyways, but that's what it is. So this magician is kind of like, it's on your journey. You've already begun. And you're the master and commander, Leo. You love that. You love that. But what I also love about that is that it's balanced. There's a little circle here tying in all the elements. You're the candle. You're the steady flame, fixed fire, Leo. You're the candle that everyone is warmed by, and it warms you because it's inside. and you're bringing that out, and you're creating. What are you creating? At the bottom, it's teamwork with the 3 of coins. Earth, wind, and water. And in the center is love. And the tools that you have bring it all together. That's a compass. Your heart's your compass. The compass rose. Let your heart be your guide, always. Don't forget that you're a creator. Don't let it get to your head, but don't forget. Keep it in your heart.
Leo, I want to remind you, not that you even really need this reminder, but I want to remind you that this lunation is happening in the middle decan of Leo, which is like the ultimate victory in being deified for that victory. Also, there were a couple cards that came out that I wasn't sure if I was going to take them, but as I was looking at the top one, you said the word balance, and it was like, okay. 2 of Pentacles. All right. I guess I'm supposed to take those. Okay, so first card I actually got for you, Leo, is the Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords is the ending of an extremely difficult situation. Okay? That's the silver lining of this card. I've never seen this come out when someone actually dies. It's more like there is a difficult situation, some kind of, conflict or some kind of extremely taxing thing going on, and now it's coming to an end. So what did you learn from it, really, is what I always kind of want to ask. So, yeah, extremely difficult ending, and it's coming almost like as a result of 5 of Wands with the 2 of Pentacles. So this to me is like competition. It can also be like too many cooks in the kitchen. You know what I mean? Everybody's got their own way of doing things, um, their own ideas about how it should go. And there needs to be just one person that steps up and is like, this is actually how it's got to go. And 4 people that step back. You know what I mean? So that could be an interesting thing that you're dealing with. That square coming from the 10th house could, this could definitely be happening in work. But anyway, the ending to this situation with the competition and the ego battle and the, I mean, look at this guy's face. He's supposed to be having fun, but he does not look like he's having fun. Kind of looks like he's a little bit fucking mad, okay? This has the potential to blow up into something that's a little more serious. Unless you make some harmonious changes now and you balance it out. So there's something in this 2 of Pentacles here that's kind of like, you need to be fair with somebody and fair with yourself. You need to be aware that this ultimate victory that is indicative of this middle decan of Leo, once again, I mentioned already to, is it a temporary victory where you're like, boom, you reach the top and then there's an immediate fall? Or is it a sustainable one? It'll only be sustainable if you continue to be fair and you don't start treating people like crap. So that's kind of what I see with that. Because it's really interesting, right? Like, when people are given a position of authority or a position of, they're given something, they're given money, or they're given a title or whatever, it's almost like their true nature comes out, right? Like, if you are a corruptible person, you will be corrupted when you get money. Whereas if you are a moral or an honorable person, you'll turn it down rather than be corrupted by it. You know what I mean? Not that I see that happening for you, Leo, but it's just a tiny example of like the kinds of shit that can go down. Kinds of shit that can go down. But anyway, there's a big ending coming, and I think you'll be fine. It's just yeah. Wow, that's crazy. It's almost like
Hmm.
you need to turn down an offer because it's not gonna do you good. Um and you know, balance it out.
That's perfect with what you were saying earlier about the Leo Aquarius axis. Like,
That's a challenge.
yeah,
Good good luck, Leo. Good
you
good
got
luck,
this.
Leo. Good luck. Good. No, I already used it once, PK. I can't do it again. Hmm. Yeah, I think I've said everything. Yeah, I think I've said everything. Cancer. Cancer. I don't know. It's like your career is evolving, Leo, and there's like endings and things that need to be balanced out before it'll keep going and keep being as awesome. I don't know. Okay, Cancer. So Cancer, for you, this is happening on the yeah, Stacy with her triple Cancer. Oh my god. So this is happening the full moon's in your second house, right? So Leo's your second house, Aquarius is your eighth. So this is lighting up the eighth second axis. 8-2 axis. So similar to Capricorn, we are talking about value, self-worth. We're talking about resources. We're talking about shared resources. Um, so the sun has been moving through your eighth house for the last week or so, uh, really bringing a focus into, deep wounds. Yeah, I know. I don't know why that is. That's really fascinating to me. Maybe it's because my Chiron's in Cancer, so it's like I've got this super healing Cancer energy, but it's like and that's my seventh house. So I don't know. I'm talking on my ass. I have no idea why.
But your moon is in Capricorn. It's in the opposite sign.
Yeah.
So it
So it's like
balances out really nice.
yeah, it's interesting.
So,
Okay. Anyway,
oh,
Cancer, and I feel calm now. We got to Cancer, and I was like, oh, thank God. Okay. So anyway, second eight axis, Sun in the eighth house. This is lighting up, all of your trust issues. Frankly, to be perfectly fucking honest. Um, and the full moon is lighting up your second house of values and valuables. So for you, Cancer, it's the inverse of Capricorn. It's the same issues coming up of trust and bonding and intimacy and also self-worth. Um, and like, how do you balance other people's needs with what you need? You know, and then like if there's unexpected and like disturbing things that happen, how do you deal with those? Crabbing season is winding down. It's crabbing season. I don't know. It's the middle of fucking winter. That's wild to me. Oh my god. Anyway, crabbing season in Aquarius. Okay. No, 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 no. Stay focused. Stay focused. So the square for you, Cancer, is coming from your 11th house. All right, that's your Taurus house, the 11th house. So it's kind of like there's a shakeup coming from either your social network. Yeah, probably social network. Something is going down in your wider social network that probably is going to impact your long-term goals that you need to make some kind of financial or self-worth related adjustments in order to manage. Now, Venus for you is in your ninth house. So it's kind of like the relief that's coming from Venus for you is coming from either a teacher, someone that you look up to that has some kind of like, I don't know, not, I don't want to say like a higher spiritual thing because that's not really accurate. It's just that, you know, there's some area of life that they know more. They're kind of an authority figure, but like you don't have to subscribe to that if you don't want to. But anyway, it's a teacher, right? Anyway, there's some kind of like words of wisdom from somebody or a you could even actually to activate this energy instead of it being a person, you could just go on a trip. That's ninth house too. Ninth house is like oh thank God, Edward, because I was not sure about that. Yeah, you could go on a trip, some kind of pilgrimage, right, to visit some kind of holy site or sacred site, especially if it has to do with water in some way, some kind of like fountain or lake that's sacred to you, right? Or even do some kind of ritual by water or using water that can help you activate that ninth house and that can help you work through some kind of self-worth stuff that's coming up. That's how I would use this energy anyway. So anyway, let's see what you got for cards, Cancer.
Cancer, at the bottom you have the Lovers, which is very lovely. Lovely indeed to see. Holding up a star between these two hands, who wear their love on their sleeves. I love that for you. Except that, what's this Five of Wands about? Feel like you might be a little crabby. Be careful that your crabbiness is not how you're showing love. Because I feel like it's borderline of that I'm just gonna tell you like it is because I love you, that tough love thing. But that's not really what love is. And that's not really how tough love works. The trick to making this Five of Wands with others good is to keep it fun. That the only person you're in competition with is yourself, not other people. And if you're going to be combative, be kind. Remember what you're creating. Remember that wholeness is the goal. This star is inverted. It's not really looking at the good stuff. It's looking up, but it's not really. So that's kind of interesting for you, Cancer. Maybe there's some more enlightenment.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. So hilarious. We're talking about the second eighth axis, right? First card that came out for Cancer was the Nine of Pentacles. So cool. I love that. I love that for you, Cancer. You know what this is? First of all, this woman's clothes are fire. She has like a professional seamstress, or she sews them herself. Maybe both. Maybe she's a professional seamstress. I'm picking up Stacey's energy. That's what's happening here. I love it. I love the bird on these cards too, because like it reminds me of just freedom, right? No matter what bird it is, there's an aspect of freedom in my mind anyway, because it's like they have the ability to go see things from a higher perspective and like literally remove themselves from situations. Um, but at the same time, this bird in particular has blinders on because it's supposed to stay focused on a very specific task. With the Nine of Pentacles, it's like, how is your self-worth right now? It's crazy to me that this is a topic that just keeps coming up continually and continually and continually all through these readings, but for the past few weeks. Um, Yeah, I love it. I love that the Nine of Pentacles is coming out for you, Cancer, because it's like a boon from the universe. Um, but anyway, that was just one card that came out, and I wanted to pull two, so I'm gonna shuffle now. uh, nice. I like that. And there's the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, that gives me more context. And the Three of Wands underneath. Okay, thank you. All right. So, what are your long-term goals? What is it that you're trying to build for yourself long-term, right? The North Node has been in Taurus for a little while. We've had eclipses on that axis, so there have been some major shakeups and shifts for you in terms of what those long-term goals actually are. Keep in mind, right, the 11th is second from the 10th. I know for most of you that doesn't make any sense. What the fuck you talk about, Kaylee? It's the rewards and the things that you get from your career. So if you're making changes in your career, obviously the types of rewards and the things that you get from that career are going to change and shift too. That's the 11th house. Your long-term goals are changing, they're shifting, and how are you building towards them? The Knight of Pentacles specifically for me is talking about making sure that you're paying attention to the details. The Nine of Pentacles as well, they're both cards of Virgo. Paying attention to the details and the small things, right? Crossing the T's, dotting your I's, but also breaking things up into smaller chunks. You can have a large goal, but how do you accomplish that large goal? You need to break it down into manageable steps and chunks. The Knight of Pentacles is also to me talking about needing to take something slowly and ensuring that each new level of success or stability even that you get to, that you ensure that it's like sustainable, not in the Agenda 2030 way, but in the like I can actually maintain this long-term way. Okay, so there's that. Also just want to say with the Three of Wands underneath, this is stepping into an individuated sense of identity, right? You're allowing yourself to shine in a way that you have never allowed yourself to shine previously. So I love that for you, Cancer. I think it's beautiful, and I think you should roll with it. Roll with it, but like slowly. You know what I mean?
Beautiful. Do
Beautiful.
it.
One step. Sorry, guys. Okay, so Gemini. You got this, Ariel. Love you guys. Okay. Anyway, I really appreciate it when you guys give me feedback like that. Because yeah, sometimes it could be like, well, I'm reading the chart and I'm saying what's coming to my mind, but I don't know if it's actually accurate. And then it's like, whoa. So thank you. All right. Gemini. Gemini. So,
Gemini.
Gemini. Shut up. Leo's your third house. Shut up. Okay, so Leo's your third house, right? So once again, we are talking about a third and ninth house axis, but it's reversed from Sagittarius, right? So general themes that will come up with this lunation include small detail versus large zoomed out detail. Learning and listening like the initial instructions for how to do a thing, but also higher learning, higher meaning, um, looking at the why for the belief. Not just the belief, but the why for the belief. That makes sense. Like, yeah, you believe a thing, why do you believe it? Um, anyway, the shakeup for you, Gemini, is coming from your 12th house because Taurus is your 12th. So this is kind of interesting because it's like you're gathering info, you're listening to things, you're, also searching through higher beliefs and, you know, studying in some way. And what's really fun about the Gemini map, just real quick, Aquarius is the ninth. The ninth house is the temple or the university that you study in. For Gemini, in order for Gemini to do the Gemini thing, they must study how to do Aquarius. So I love thinking about the trines in this way. It trips me up a little bit, but it's like it's a really important piece of information. So anyway, there's stuff coming up subconsciously, right? 12th house Taurus. Maybe through your dreams or through symbolism that you run in throughout the day, or synchronicities or, just random fears that come up or whatever, that could even be like causing you to go down certain rabbit holes, which I would advise caution with, um, or causing some really interesting shifts and just making you question your beliefs, really, which, again, it's not a bad thing, right? Disillusionment is a natural part of the process of awakening and of, like, life and individuating, just being a healthy person. So yeah, it's not at all a bad T-square in the slightest. It's just, there could be some challenges there. And again, I want to bring up the 12th house fears thing. The way through this, the way to, wow, that's interesting. Yeah, that's weird. So the tension relieving aspect for this lunation is Venus, right? That's why I've been bringing her up every reading. Venus for you, Gemini, is in your 10th house. So it's kind of like talking to somebody that's in a position of authority or asserting yourself as an authority figure, or focusing in on your career and how you can make something to do with your career or your public image more beautiful is almost helping you deal with the subconscious fears. And I don't know how that lands for you, Gemini, but it's kind of like it's like the thing that you have control over, is how you feel about yourself, number one, but also you can put in a little bit more effort, um, in like one specific area, and if you're gonna focus anywhere, it's like focus on your career. I was like, what? That's weird, but that's what the astrology is saying. So anyway, focus on your career and the tools that you already have, right? Because third house is tools, and the lunation is happening there. So it's like the full moon is highlighting some kind of tools or communication that needs to happen. And using those things, utilizing those things, and also working on your career is going to assist you with whatever tension comes up as far as beliefs and fears go. There we go.
Nice. Well, Gemini, your card came out, the Lovers.
Sweet.
Yeah. There's no fear in love, really, is there?
I'm gonna shut up now. Keep going.
That's it. I'm done. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. I mean, really, it's through What
That's
else
it.
can you say? No, that's it. That's it. No, the ruler of cups is at the bottom. That's your king of cups. King of the heart. Yes. Oh my god.
Did we just do it again?
We just did it again.
Girl, I missed you.
That's beautiful. I mean, yeah, being king of the heart. That connection, that, however that is going to be for you, even if it's somebody in authority, if it's not you, if you're not in that position of authority, you are, though, because twins. It's through recognizing other as the same. You can still honor and respect that person's position in being love, in being this King of Cups. The King of Cups isn't void of rational thought. Quite the contrary. But he still leads with his heart. He's thinking of all the things and ultimately saying, all right, I'm going to trust what Spirit says. I'm going to trust what the heart says. Being the compassionate in any situation, especially with people in authority. Be compassionate and empathetic and see what happens.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So that's what I got for you, Gemini.
It's really cool that you pulled the lovers because I pulled temperance.
Ooh.
You're opposite. You're opposite. Gemini, both twins are coming out today. What's up? What's up? I really, really love what you said about compassion and empathy with authority figures because that's Pisces on the 10th. 100%. That's really interesting. I'm stewing in that a little bit. I'm marinating in it. Got some hot sauce, got some salt and pepper. I'm like, yeah, sorry.
Some hot sauce. It'd be spicy.
I like hot sauce. What can I say?
Good. It's good.
Okay, so temperance, beauty, art, balancing opposites, transmutation of difficult shit into gold. Literally just a moment ago, Binna said, I've never been this focused, grounded, clear, and productive. It's like a golden time after so much pain the last 2 years. Hell yeah, dude. Here's what you're transmuting stuff into, right? There it is. Boom. Ace of freaking Pentacles. So, yeah. All of the all of the okay, so it's interesting while talking about the astrology, I was like, careful of going down too many rabbit holes. But it's like if you can take all that information that you've gathered, Gemini, and if you can transmute it through art, through something beautiful, you can so good, don't need the biscuits, Edward. You're cute. If you can transmute all of that shit that you've been learning, that you've been absorbing, and if you can make it into something beautiful and artistic, or even without using art, but I mean, Venus in the 10th, use art, you can seriously help yourself advance in some way. And since I've got so much fucking Capricorn, I'm just gonna say it. It's gonna help you make bank. Hot sauce. Yeah, Jake, hot sauce. But more than that, it's more than that. It's more than just the physical aspect of money, because really that just represents it's a store of value for energy, right? How do you feel, right? What is your self-worth right now? Wow, okay, we got this on the bottom, right? This is an emotionally mature person, emotionally mature individual. The King of Cups, I've never seen a King of Cups that doesn't have like rocks underneath them of some kind. They're always on steady ground, even though the emotional waters around them are kind of like, they're not always calm, depending on the card and the deck and all that stuff. Doesn't matter. He's calm, right? And then underneath him is the freaking Empress. I love that. So it's all about cultivating your own self-worth. And I feel like that's really the real gift that you're manifesting and transmuting all of the shit into. So anyway, there you go, Gemini.
There you have it.
Yum, I guess. That could be good.
That could
That
be
could be good.
good.
That could be good. Could be good. I'm into it.
Hmm.
Okay, Taurus. PK, where you at? Taurus, you're the one causing shit this lunation. You're the one causing shit. How does it feel? How does it feel to be the shit disturber? That's some bullshit. Okay, so this is hilarious. The full moon's happening in your fourth house, Taurus. Bull gang, let's go. Hey, it's Jam. What's up, Jam? Hey,
What's up?
hey. Speaking of bull gang in the house, what up?
Gang.
You just showed up for the Taurus reading. I
Go,
love
Doors
it.
Gang!
Rain horns unite. What's up? I love
Thank
it.
you. I'm gonna keep the
Hi.
show
Love you.
going.
Hey,
Bye.
this is your first
You
time on
guys are
my show.
awesome.
What's up? I was
Great
like, okay,
show.
running away now. Bye. Here's
Taurus
Taurus
bomb.
coming to stir the pot. That's cute. Okay. So anyway, Taurus, this lunation's happening in your fourth house, the house of home. So as I've said, the fourth house is talking about, on the most basic surface level, it is literally the conditions that you're living in, right? It's also your oh my gosh, they twin in word. Yeah, right? You guys are fucking cute. Um it's your anchor, right? So for Taurus, Leo is your anchor. Isn't that interesting? In order for Taurus to do the Taurus path, they must be anchored in self-love. They must be anchored in a radiant sense of self-love where they shine a light on everybody. And that's your fourth house. So that's fun. So anyway, this full moon, so with the sun being in your 10th house, moon being in the fourth house, this is again balancing private and public. What's private versus what's public? Sun in the 10th house is really helping you shine in your career, literally. Like, literally. Um, but wow, wow, something from your home is also showing up in public as well. So that's kind of fun. You literally just had another Taurus sun walk on screen. Is in your home, but it's also like showing up publicly. That's kind of funny. Not gonna lie, that's kind of funny.
Gotta love it.
That's hilarious. Okay. But the square, right? The square is coming from your sign. Uranus is in your sign. You're the one shaking shit up. Well, it's Uranus, but it's you, okay? It's you shaking things up. Your own sense of freedom, your own sense of individuation, right? Your desire to be your own unit, your own person, you know, your own unique damn self. There's some kind of conflict or confrontation occurring between home and career, and it's like, can I still be me? Can I still be me? Can I still do me? Or is this me? Is my career me? Is my home life me? Or am I me? You know what I mean? There's like an essential like identity crisis going on for Taurus right now, straight up. Um, so that could be really interesting to navigate. The tension relieving aspect is coming from Venus in the 11th. Now, Venus represents you, right? Venus is your ruling planet if you're a Taurus rising. Venus in the 11th in Pisces is kind of like, what are what are your long-term goals right now? Focusing on your long-term goals, because really, what your long-term goals are a reflection of you in the end of the day, right? Also tapping in and talking with, speaking with, or getting counsel, because Venus is the counselor, getting counsel from friends will also assist you with this, right? And it could even just be something as simple as just like, hey guys, I really miss doing this with you. I fucking missed you, Rachel. I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad you came out because it's like little things like that remind you of like, oh yeah, this is actually who I am, and this person helps reflect back to me that aspect of myself. So anyway, That's what I gotta say about Taurus. Let's pull some cards.
It's
I'm
true.
not
Having
emotional,
this
you're
deck,
emotional.
my Aquamoon has been like, emotions. I have them. I have them. They're real. For sure.
Oh. Yo, what the fuck, Taurus?
Ah, okay.
I'm down. Okay. Alright.
Yeah, wow.
Are you ready? I'm ready.
Yeah. There's a couple seekers at the bottom. One at the bottom of the deck. Seekers are pages. So the page of cups. New love, new spiritual ideas, fresh. I don't always want to say new because the page has some semblance of something going on. It's just the first time practicing it. Wish fulfillment. There's this nice little wishbone here. What do you wish? And how will you obtain those wishes? Taurus.
Seriously, Venus wants to grant you some wishes right now, so just go with it.
Yeah. Yeah. What's crazy is that the Seeker of Swords came out too. So I think you're probably intellectualizing it, trying to figure it out with your head. You know, you might know the wishes of the heart, but you're not really ready to exercise the wishes with your mind and to visualize. In order to do that, you'll need to soar on these bird wings. Practice visualization. Practice mini manifestations around your house. Taurus, practical magic. You know, it starts there. It starts with just mini manifestations. The only thing is that this just flew out. This fell on the floor. Is the Seven of Wands, which is very combative, um, conflicting creative ideas. It flew out reversed. And so since I don't take reversals in this deck unless it's for serious, I would say this is for serious. Usually it shows that, you know, you're fighting and fighting and continue to fight for victory. But I like this because it shows that you have the upper hand. You know, instead of everything at the bottom coming at you, maybe you're coming at it. By choosing to take on something new, by choosing to practice, you're actually winning. You're actually being more creative than everyone else who thinks that whatever they think that might be different and that might keep you in a place of non-victory, that might keep you defensive. You know, are my creations good enough? Is my life, you know, self-value, self-worth, Taurus? It is. You're worth it. The world is worth your gifts. Practice. Get back in touch with your wishes. I love that the Seekers came out. This is the most pure and innocent of all your wishes right here. Your inner child. There you go, Taurus.
Shush, PK. Do you want a nice reading or not? Shut up.
Well, we can flip it if you want.
Yeah.
You just want to hear me like meander. You want to hear me make like, you know, serious readings like I was reading before. Like Rachel's gonna lay the hammer down.
Now for the Leo full moon, baby. Okay, so I love that. Fresh and innocent. This is on the bottom of the deck. The Fool. That's cool. I like that for you, Taurus. That's really sweet. I feel like this is reflecting the Uranus energy, right? It's like breaking free and going on a grand adventure. Uranus wants that for you. But you can't bring along a ton of baggage. You know, you gotta leave some of it, right? Taurus, I know you love holding on to shit. Okay, you can't hold on to everything. Okay, anyway. Trust in spirit with this, all right? Instinct or passion or something is driving you forward. Go with it. Because we also got the Lovers and the Wheel of Fortune. What? Yo, what? 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 Yeah. Three major arcana. That's intense. So, number one, the Lovers is a six. We've been dealing with sixes all stream. We're dealing with sixes with this full moon. That's kind of cool. So I don't know, with the Lovers, I I have a love-hate relationship with this card, which is funny because it's Gemini and it's like duality, but seriously, I have a serious love-hate relationship with this card. And it's probably honestly more a reflection of how I feel about this topic than anything else. But anyway, with the Lovers, we're talking about duality, with making decisions, with allowing ourselves to be open with another, with communication back and forth, and all of the interesting stuff that brings up. Um, there's some kind of choice that needs to be made. And really, I feel like it's, should I stay or should I go now? Yeah. But then you got the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune always brings something up again. I love what you said, Rachel, before when you pulled it. It's like, it's the promise of something new coming around. Endings and beginnings. Fuck, what did you say? I can't remember exactly what you said, but that's okay. I'm gonna
It's
make it
okay.
my own anyway. But it's some kind of blessing, right? It's some kind of
Mhm.
blessing. The wheel is turning, right? Nothing stays stagnant. And every time an opportunity comes back around, it's actually different. It can have some of the same flavors, it can have some of the same archetypes, but at the end of the day, you're different. You're not the same as you were before. So trust in yourself and in your ability to deal with things in a different way than how you did before, right? It's not going to be the same because you're not the same. The situation isn't the same. Um, so, roll with it. And yeah, I get the sense of go forth with confidence, right? Go forth with confidence. And yes, camping is intense, PK. Get it? Intense.
Intense.
Fucking that's hilarious. Okay, Aries. Oh god. Okay, Aries. Aries. Oof. Ooh. Full moon in the fifth, baby. Yeah. Okay, so sun in the 11th, moon in the fifth. Um, that's beautiful. So really what you're manifesting, Aries, is something that is fun, that is flirtatious, that is possibly a little risky or risque, you know what I mean? The fifth house can be romance, it can be creative endeavors, it can be hobbies, it can be like small business stuff. But really it's creative energy. That's the fifth house. So that's kind of exciting actually. Straight up, it's probably the best lunation for Aries. Um, The tension, however, the square, the shakeup is coming from your second house of values and valuables, resources, in other words. So that's fun. It's kind of like you really want to go and have a good time, but can you actually pay for it? Can you actually afford it? You know what I mean? And will going and pursuing your fifth house activities, which is the more fun and risky stuff, the more immediately satisfying stuff, will that sabotage your long-term goals? Question mark. I don't know. That's for you to decide, not for me. If you're struggling with this, the point of relief, the tension relief coming from Venus is coming from your 12th house. So I would say dream into it, meditate on it, um, or maybe even ask yourself, like, what is the more spiritually in line decision to make? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like you may need to ask yourself and sit down and meditate on like which decision or which path is more in line with divine will. And like obviously that's not something that's going to come up from like a pro and con list, you know what I mean? And I know Aries, you're not good at like sitting and meditating, but that's what Venus is asking you to do, to like chill out a little bit um before before expending all of your energy. There it is.
Okay. Well,
Protect your wallet. I
get one of those wallet chains. Bring those back.
I used to rock that for years.
I thought it was so cool.
Dude, I was cool. Fuck you.
Yeah, I was like, I want one of those, and then I didn't think I looked cool enough. I was like,
Did you get
wow,
like multiple chains?
no, just the one.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
That's the problem. There wasn't enough. Of course. Go big or go home. So Aries got the Eight of Wands. That is big, fast energy, just like you. You just go right in, full of creativity. I like how it's even a ram. The I am.
All through high school, woman. All through high school.
As you should.
What grade?
She laughs. What grade?
All of them.
So this goes really well with the astrology. That need for sitting and meditating is because you have the Sovereign of Wands at the bottom. That's the Queen of Wands. So all of this creativity, all of this fire, all this flair, all this fast energy and ability to do things comes from that place of self-discipline and knowledge. The Queen of Wands is full of gnosis, but she is a magician. She's a creator. The crown has a lion and ram horns with this wand. I think actually in the background there's two pillars too. So that echoes a little bit of the high priestess energy. Is that you're an active priestess.
Ooh, sorry about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Aries. Do you ever think about yourself that way? Do you ever think about your fire and your passion in a spiritual sense? With fire being the liquid version of electricity? Do you think that way at all?
I love that. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Aries. So this is interesting. What I've got you for you, Aries, actually is Justice came out. Hello, Libra. Interesting. You're welcome, PK. Thanks for hanging out. So Justice came out, but also with the Four of Cups. Interesting. So, you know what I was saying about delaying gratification? I'm kind of feeling like that's what the Four of Cups is asking you to do. And with the Justice coming out as well, it's like, I don't know, I'm always fascinated by the scales, by the need for balance. And I kind of get like with this card in particular, I get the what is the phrase? Like balancing on the edge of a razor. 11 people in the chat right now. That's pretty cool. Um, and this card is 11. But yeah, it's like balancing on the edge of a razor, and it's like you can go in excess to either way or either side, but it's like you need to have perfect balance in this. Because if you go too far into like immediate gratification, whether it's like, I mean, it doesn't really matter what it is, whether it's alcohol, whether it's food, whether it's video games, whatever. And Venus in the 12th in Pisces can definitely mm, exasperate if you have any bad habits along those lines. So anyway, be aware of that because the Four of Cups is talking about excess to me. It's like comfort and complacency. And it's like you have so much in front of you, you're overstimulated and you don't even want any more because it's too much. So justice to me is saying like back off a little bit and make sure that you're going into the spiritual side of stuff, not just the physical side of stuff. Um, and yeah, I mean, at the bottom of the deck, we got the Seven of Pentacles. So again, I'm reminded of like, what are your long-term goals exactly? And is the pursuit of pleasure costing you your long-term goals? And do you have enough saved, right? Whether that's resources, whether it's money, whether it's food, whether it's like, I mean, it's Pentacles, so we are talking about physical stuff. Do you have enough for those times, right, when the unexpected and the unpredictable occurs, right? So, yeah, that's what I got for you, Aries. Keep all that in mind. You got this.
I love that for Aries.
Pretty much just end every reading like that. You got this.
You got this.
You
You're
got this.
fine.
You got this. You'll be fine. I also I just took a sneak peek for Aries and looked underneath the Seven of Pentacles. Right underneath it is the Nine of Pentacles. So it's like,
Ooh.
if you're saving and making small sacrifices now in order to be a little bit more frugal and pull back a little bit from the fifth house energy, you're going to be sitting really pretty later. And then underneath that is strength. This is literally one of the most beautiful cards in the fucking deck. She's so pretty. But anyway, so yeah. Take care of the small stuff now, Aries. Okay, my friends, I've got to go. Love you all very much. Thank you. And I didn't see any emails for personal readings, so that's okay. That's all right. I'll give you guys a heads up that Rachel's coming next time.
It was a fun surprise.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
you too. Yeah, Rachel. Thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate that very much. You're an
Yeah,
OG.
absolutely.
All right, I love you guys. Have a lovely night. And look at us. We got before 3 hours. We're
We're
getting
doing
better.
good.
We're getting better. Okay, bye guys. Have a good night.